Thank you. Hope you enjoyed that. The trip in Turkey certainly looks like a lot of fun, so if you're interested, check it out. I'm here with President Richard L. McCormick to talk about his annual address tomorrow at 1:10 p.m. Thank you so much, President McCormick, for being here this morning.
It's a pleasure to talk with you and to share with our Rutgers audience the annual address that's coming up tomorrow.
Well, it's such an honor to have you. So your address tomorrow, can you tell our viewers what topics and goals for the university you'll be addressing in your speech?
Sure. Well, I take seriously each year my responsibility to share with the Rutgers community the challenges we're facing and how to meet them. So this year it seems pretty clear that the place to start is with the economic downturn that our nation and our state and our university has experienced. It's having impacts on higher education all across the country, including Rutgers, where, for example, many of our students are having difficulty paying their tuition and fees for the semester. And I'm going to reflect on some of the challenges that we're facing amidst a difficult economy and some of the things that Rutgers has done with some success to respond to the difficulty. So it'll be a serious speech in that respect. In order to inspire, because that's the purpose of my talk, members of the Rutgers community to continue to do the difficult things that need to be done to get us through hard times, I'm also going to fly up to 30,000 feet, if you will, and talk about the goals and values that we have as a university in education, in research, and in service. The very things in which we believe deeply and for which we need the resources about which I'll be talking.
I think that's a great point to start off with. I know as a citizen, I want to know about what's going on in the economy, especially here at Rutgers.
Sure.
So, as you first came here in 2002,
I did.
How has the university changed since you became president?
Well, it's grown, that's for sure. There are more students, there are more buildings, there are more programs. I'm very proud of the changes that we made in undergraduate education 3 or 4 years ago. I know many people loved their colleges, Douglas and Rutgers and Livingston, and I understand that. But we had to move forward in order to assure that students everywhere at Rutgers had a full opportunity to take the courses they need and get involved in the programs they wanted to get involved in, and in order to give the faculty responsibility for undergraduate education, from admissions standards to the curriculum to graduation. So it was a wrenching change, and I'll be speaking about it briefly in my speech tomorrow, but I believe in very many ways life is better and education is better as a result of the changes that we made.
Well, I know as a student of the School of Arts and Sciences myself, I'm feeling many of the changes, and I'm feeling prepared for the real world too.
Well, that's exactly what we want. The faculty in the School of Arts and Sciences has recently developed a new curriculum with an eye not on covering the material in different fields, but on preparing students for life and work and contributions in the global 21st century. So the emphasis is on student learning outcomes and on the varieties of ways to complete a Rutgers education that don't just take you lockstep through one course from column A and one course from column B.
Because there's so many things that you can learn outside of the classroom that you can't get in a lecture hall.
Exactly right. And the curriculum places a great deal of emphasis on those things, on experiences within the community, on internships, on shared learning experiences, on experiential learning, on undergraduate research. Very, very important.
So your father, Richard P. McCormick, was a very distinguished figure here. He was a historian. How does it feel to be the president of the university he was so much a part of?
Well, thank you for asking me that question. My dad and I were very close throughout my whole life. In fact, I grew up on River Road in Piscataway, which is only about a mile from here. So I've been part of the Rutgers community since I was a baby. In fact, the building in which we're now sitting is right next to the residence hall named after him, McCormick Hall. I'm very proud to be the president of the university with which he was associated.
Of course.
I remember with pride the course that we team taught together long ago on the history of American politics. It was a lot of fun to be in the classroom with him.
That must have been such a special time for you and your father.
It was, and we've shared many since then. He lived about 3 years into my presidency of Rutgers, and of course I shared with him everything I was doing and learned a great deal from him about this university.
Well, that's wonderful. So what has been the most fulfilling aspect of your presidency here at Rutgers?
Well, I think it was the changes that we made in undergraduate education that I described before. I wanted badly to contribute to making sure that students could study what they wanted, where they wanted. No more of this, if you live here, you can't major in that. If you live there, you can't do this. I think we've gotten beyond that, and I think we have also improved the student services offered on all of the campuses. Terribly important to me. Rutgers is big. It's far flung. We've got 5 different campuses, 36,000 students. You need to work hard to make sure that all of those students have every opportunity and get the services they need. And you know, we're not entirely there yet. In fact, I'll speak tomorrow in my address about some of the areas where there are shortcomings, and I'm committed to addressing them. But I do think we've made progress, and I'm proud of that.
Well, thank you for being on the show, President McCormick.
Thank you.
Congratulations on all of your successes thus far in your presidency. So we're going to head over to Chris DeVito now, but make sure to check out President McCormick's annual address to the Rutgers community tomorrow at 1:10 p.m. in the multi-purpose room of the Rutgers Student Center. Now, if you can't be there, check it on RUTV channels 8 and 60 and online at ruiptv.rutgers.edu.